Welcome to 5 Star Weekly. A shocking trade to some and a big matchup this weekend. We get into all that and more coming up. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to the show, 5 Star fam. I'm AJ, and Michael is on birthday holiday. So everyone wish a happy holiday and birthday to Michael in the comments. But yes, unfortunately, Atlanta United lost 3-0 in a very ugly match against the Union. We will get to that very shortly, but and briefly, really. But yes, let's first give some major shouts out to our lovely Patreon fam. Most notably, Gavin, Jordan, Niall, Andrew, Chris, Nick, and Jeff. Thank you guys so much as always. But yes, unfortunately, it is game one of a 3-game road trip that didn't go Atlanta United's way to start. And it was ugly. The Philly Union had a player sent off, but still, for 40 minutes, the Union were down to 10 men, and Atlanta United could not capitalize. But yeah, we did set kind of new formation before the game started. Xande Fortune was playing on the left. Xande Silva left out of the squad, as well as Edwin Mosquera, who seemed like he wasn't maybe quite match fit yet. So yeah, it kind of left the options at left wing a bit bare. Alexei Miranchuk played at probably one of the either 10 positions, second striker, or maybe at the second striker position. But it was definitely not that effective, obviously. It also, as far as the 11 that was trotted out, Noah Cobb started in place of Luis Abram. It was not pretty. Honestly, just not pretty. But as far as the goals that we conceded, I mean, we could not clear the ball. It was the 26th minute, and multiple chances to lump it away, and a couple whiffs in a row, and Quinn Sullivan for the Union, a brilliant chest down into a volley that was unstoppable. Bragazan had no chance, and really well taken goal. But they took a 1-0 lead quickly there, the momentum goes as heads drop, which it seems to do for Atlanta United very easily, especially this season. They really were putting the pressure on. A couple of minutes later, Yuri, his left foot fighter shot that rattled off the crossbar, and Stan Gregerson in that passage, he went down, and he had to leave the pitch. Another injury for Stian Gregerson, and Luis Abram, he came on later, but Muyamba also was forced off the pitch just 3 minutes later. So it's 2 substitution windows that we had to use, and 2 players went off with injuries. Click came on, and it definitely seemed like we were under the cosh at that point. But coming out of the break, we didn't make any moves. We could have utilized this window to maybe bring in a player so that we didn't have to possibly use them all at one point later on in the match. But it seemed like that probably was fated to be the case. But Miranchuk, he drew a foul in the middle of the pitch, a second yellow for Jovan Lukic, who was sent off with his second yellow card. And so Philly went down to 10 men. And, Atlanta United could not capitalize, like I mentioned. And Lennon, well, it was very, very strange. It was a very poor walkabout into the middle of the park where Lennon just dribbled into traffic, dribbled into three guys, where no one has ever accused Lennon of being a press-resistant fullback, and yet it happened. He tried to dribble past the three guys. He got dispossessed, and thus came the most unfortunate goal-scoring sequence for Atlanta United in being really scored on ever. I feel like this was just as nonsensical as it came, and basically, he got dispossessed, Lennon. It just was a marauding run, very easy pass onto the left wing, and it seemed as simple as anything. They, basically it was 50th minute, and Philadelphia took a 2-0 lead by pretty much nutmegging Brad Guzan through his legs, where Guzan looked like he was trying to anticipate a bottom right corner type of goal, but instead he left the legs a little too wide and slided right through, and incredibly frustrating. But Jamal Tiare, Saba Laptanice, they came on as Daila made a couple changes, and it was kind of more of the same. Nothing really to come about. We did hit the woodwork, but Philly with their Golden Boot contender Ty Baribo got his 7th goal of the season, and it was just more heartbreak for Atlanta United. 3-0, and Rene Daila said after the match, "I'm of course very disappointed. We have a lot of the ball, but we are not good enough in the 2 boxes. I think we lose the ball too much in difficult and easy situations. And we're underperforming as a team and also individuals. So that's something I have to look myself in the mirror and take responsibility for." We had 58.6% of the possession and nothing to do with it at all. Just, bereft of ideas, bereft of really a killer instinct. And especially when we're down, when we're down in the scoreline, but they're down with 10 men, we absolutely need to capitalize, and it is absolutely just very poor, incredibly poor, that we weren't able to muster anything out of this match after going up a man for 40 minutes. So, I think it's best to leave it here. On this match, we have much more to talk about as far as the state of Atlanta United at the moment. But it is definitely the worst start in Atlanta United history, and possibly it could get worse. The form somehow could get worse because we could continue this slide, and we have a mountain to climb to really get back into the playoff picture, even though it's not the most dire as far as how many points away from a playoff spot, but it is as far as Atlanta United, the goals and what the expectations were going into the season, where most fans and pundits had us in pretty much a top 4 or better position as far as how much we spent in attack, 50 million, and it's just very, very poor. But we will be playing Orlando City this weekend. We will have that preview later on for you in this episode. But let's get into the news. And Stian Gregerson, he, with his quad injury, will be out at least 3 weeks, according to Doug Roberson. Tristan Muyamba, his adductor, will also be out at least 3 weeks. So we are shorthanded once again in positions that we are really dire in. We are really needing our players to stay healthy, and yet it is looking like, Stian Gregerson, man, looking like Mr. Glass. It's not a good look, unfortunately. Constantly injured. As good of a player as he is when he is healthy, it is just not good enough when he is, injured. And yeah, it really leaves this team in a very dire type of look. But Noah Cobb, he spoke with the press, and he said the team may need to start kicking guys, quote unquote, and quote, fighting for points, essentially show some personality, or as he put it, that the willingness to die for your team, which I really appreciate there. He is, of course, a homegrown. He is a player that knows what it's like to grow up in Atlanta, and he said everyone needs to take ownership to do it. And so, if you looked and watched our post-match live stream, I was calling for more of these type of players because, that's the type of player that knows what it's like to play for the badge, to play for the crest, to make sure that everyone that is on the team, even at his young age, he's 19 and he's saying this. Now, maybe, saying it publicly to start kicking guys maybe isn't the smartest thing as far as, if refs get a whiff of it. But as far as, the ethos of this team, we absolutely need to take ownership. But, so the big news from this past week. So MLS's primary transfer window closed on Wednesday night, and LA United made one move at the deadline, and it was to acquire $250,000 in general allocation money from St. Louis City SC in exchange for Xande Silva. So Xande Silva, St. Louis is responsible for Silva's full budget charge, which frees up about $688,000 for LA United. It would be it's $100K in general allocation money and $150K for potential GAM as well. But basically, Silva, he made 2 starts in 7 appearances for the 5 Sharps this season, and he as part of the deal as well, LA United will retain Silva's special discovery tag. And basically, as far as his tenure here, Silva, he obviously has divided opinion at times. When he first came from Dijon from Ligue 2, he quickly made a case for a permanent transfer. He recorded 2 goals and 3 assists in 641 regular season minutes. Unfortunately, the next season in 2024, he started 19 of the 30 appearances across all competitions with only 2 goals with all of those appearances. But, of course, he scored that stunning goal against Inter Miami in the playoffs to force a decisive 3rd match in which we, of course, advanced. But he's been a player that has been a good cheerleader at times, a player that definitely knows what it means to at least kind of make the crowd part of the game. He would often try to rile the crowd up so that the 17s would be in the game. And it is one of these things where Xande Silva quickly removed LA United from his profile. He has been, it seems, pretty upset at his playing time. I think it's self-inflicted, though, unfortunately. Silva, as far as the talent, you can see that it's there, but you can also see that the application, the showing up with consistency week in, week out, it just wasn't there. I mean, I think he was played a little bit too long last season as far as the number of appearances that he made, because he really just wasn't performing. But Edwin Mosquera on X, he tweeted a facepalm emoji, retweeting and subtweeting, really, Atlanta United's post, thanking Xande Silva for everything. So, yeah, the vibes are just great right now. Even the players are subtweeting the club on social media. So, yeah, it's really kind of dire, it seems. But, yeah, the next transfer window runs Thursday, July 24th to Thursday, August 21st. And, yeah, basically, Atlanta United, well, this seems like the only move that has been made in the transfer window. There was, apparently, according to Claudio Football, Julian Grestle, there was kind of possibly a looking at him. LAFC, of course, maybe not of course, but LAFC were also looking at him as well. And, yeah, as far as, his time, Julian Grestle with Inter Miami, he has not played this season. Javier Mascherano, he pretty much has fallen out of favor with the Inter Miami head coach. Tom Bogert, late on Wednesday night, actually mentioned that Minnesota United were finalizing a deal to bring Grestle to the Loons. And, basically a, kind of basically opening salary cap space for Miami. But apparently the breakthrough has been reached, and he might be a Minnesota United player very shortly. But the fact that LA United were looking at Grestle, of course, Chris Henderson at Inter Miami, brought him in. And, it's definitely interesting. It's a player that's obviously a lot of Atlanta United fans are clamoring for, but it did not happen. But it also is a question where he would play, if brought in. It's just, not a out-and-out winger in the sense of that. More of a right wing back. Of course, Brooks Lennon kind of, in that sense, was the guy that replaced him. Where, the pace difference is definitely there. Defensively, probably about the same, unfortunately. And the service, of course, Julian Grestle, one of our assist leaders in his time here. He would have been helpful to a degree, but it also would have been kind of perplexing. It would be a divisive move, for sure. It definitely wouldn't solve the problems, but it would reunite Grestle with Miguel Almiron. I just don't know how much effectiveness that actually would be. But, so last bit of news. LA United 2 defeated Carolina Core FC in a back-and-forth match on Wednesday night. And LA United earned the extra point in the shootout after a 2-2 draw in regulation. Academy midfielder Gabriel Wesse notched a goal and an assist in his first professional start, and Moises Tablante scored his third goal of the season. So congrats to Wesse and Tablante. But guys, yes, let's get to the mailbag, and you guys send in these questions through Discord and IG story, and please continue to do so, and we might answer your question in the future. So first question comes from our highest tiered Patreon member, Gavin. He says, congratulations, AJ. You are now the manager of Atlanta United. As the manager, what are you doing to fix Atlanta United? It's a big question. Obviously, there's a lot to do and a lot to pretty much figure out. Obviously, Xande Silva, like we just talked about, has been moved, so a winger option has been moved on. The winger options now with Edwin Mosquera, if he's healthy, Luke Brennan, you have some guys that are ready to contribute. So, younger guys that's have some things to prove. Mosquera, obviously coming off the bench, is a player that can change the game as far as from a pace standpoint. But yeah, I think this is a move to free up more playing time as a starter for Mosquera. I think we're still going to be using Mosquera in the fashion that we are. But yeah, it pretty much solidifies right now, at least until the next transfer window, that we're living and dying with Saba, Miggy as the starting options. And that we're actually a little bit weakened from the bench. So as far as fixing it right now, I think you kind of have to. In the games that that the defense isn't going to be that strong, at least the ones that you're playing against, you play Alexei Miranchuk at the 8, and you kind of die by the sword a little bit. You take the chance and you try to see if you can pretty much outscore the opposition, because our defense continually seems to be injured. Of course, with Gregerson, with Williams, pretty much perpetually kind of out at the moment. It's gonna be makeshift defense for sure. As far as fixing the in the interim, that's unfortunately very hard to do. But as far as I think going to the future, Miranchuk seems like a person that you probably have to try to move on for some value. And it seems like Silva was one of the players that you could get value for, so that you can anticipate making a move for other players in the summer with that GAM money. Of course, with kind of the reaction from fans with the Silva move, it seems like a lot of people were perplexed, that they were just like, oh, for only $250,000, this player was moved. It's not obviously that's not the money that he was actually moved for. Like, it's the MLS money, but it's not that he was sold for only $250,000. He was sold for flexibility in the structure of the salary cap for Atlanta United, so that we can make more moves that benefit us in the future. Plus, the $688,000 free up in cap space is also very important for Atlanta United to be able to bring in other players that can contribute on a more consistent and regular basis for Atlanta United. So St. Louis City, they get a player that has promise, but so far in his career, he has not shown consistency. That's why he's bounced around from West Ham to Dijon to, of course, Atlanta United to St. Louis. It's, kind of the main thing is that, he is a bit divisive. But, okay. So, next question comes from, let's see, R.I.P. Xande. They ask, when will we finally make a Mira decision what to do with Mira? Man has been inconsistent and not good enough, especially at a DP spot. If this was a 1 or 2 game rough patch, it wouldn't be bad, but I am disappointed and expect higher. Obviously, he's not the only thing that needs work, though. And really, that's what it is. I mean, he's had a goal, and as far as created chances, he leads the team. But it really is, from a DP standpoint, from a number 10 standpoint, you need more goals. Basically, he's a second striker. If not him, who's going to score more of the goals? So of course you have Miggy, you have Saba, who are also forwards, but it is definitely underwhelmed, and it's really kind of not been the DP level that we are wanting from Miranchuk. So as far as what you can do, I mean, obviously you can't buy him down. He's as far as a budget charge, because of his transfer fee, it's too high. I mean, you either look to find some way, like I mentioned, with playing him at the 8 as much as you can against lower opposition, or you try to move him on, have a buyout, which that's going to be difficult when it's you do have 2 buyouts, but it would be a pretty bad look from Garth Lagerwey to make that decision so quickly already when we just bought him the last summer transfer window. So, from an optics standpoint, it is not a good look if he does that, and it pretty much puts more pressure onto himself. So I don't see it happening, and so you have to almost utilize Moranchuk in the best fashion that you can. So let's move on to the next question. Don't lose when you can win. BG asks, if there was a fantasy draft for this season and you can only protect 5 players, who would you keep? Ooh, that's a very, very interesting question. I don't know if I can get to 5 right now. The players that are performing, I'm not even sure it's a handful, but I think Miggy, I think probably is the guy that's as far as promise wise, probably he's not performing, but a player that can do the job, can obviously has led us to glory. I think you keep Pedro Amador. That's he's a player that has been definitely a guy that when he's in the squad, looks like a player that can do the job. Emmanuel Atelat probably should have been first. Is the guy that's, I think with his transfer fee, he's proven that he's a guy that very clinical. Yellow card accumulation a little bit high, and he did get a yellow card on this match, and he will miss the match against Orlando City. But man, it's I think Jay Fortune is another player that I think is proving himself. I think needs more playing time, can do the job, but still has some things to prove for sure. Man, the other players, I mean, are working their way into contention. Not to say that they're completely useless, but it's more that these players, as far as like if they're average or not, I think we're average or below as far as the form at the moment. So as far as protecting them, they have to have value. So that's the thing. Let me pause as I take a drink of water here. But yeah, it's I'm, like I said, struggling to get to the 5th player because it's, I mean you could make a case for Saba. I mean, you could make a case for I'm not even sure. There's really not many other players that we'll just say Saba for the 5th player because he is underperforming, but on his day he has performed, and throughout an entire duration of the season probably was our best player of last season. But next question comes from let's see, we'll go with Haggarus20. Who should the finger be pointing at for this atrocious start? What's your best guess solution, and do we add? I mean, finger pointing, it goes to the entire squad. I mean, players, to Ronnie Dyla, to Chris Henderson, to Garth Lagerwey, everyone is to blame because, we were sold a dream and we are living through a nightmare, and it is not at all what LA United fans are wanting, what we were expecting. It's just, as far as solution, I mean, thinking, and maybe it was a bit naive to think that one transfer window would completely solve all our problems when it seems like there is a culture problem, like Michael Weiss, posited in one of the community spotlight articles on our Patreon. Definitely go and read that if you haven't yet. But yeah, it's one of those things where culturally it seems like we've just been infected, and for the past 6 seasons it's not been good enough. But and do we add? Yeah, but we can't really until the transfer window opens up. I mean, we could try to fill it in with some academy players, but let's be honest, they're probably not ready or good enough yet. Sans maybe a Will Riley, and if Will Riley gets more playing time, I want to see how it goes. It can't be worse than what we're seeing at the moment. But and that's really the next question. Land guy in ATL, with the injuries, who will we bring up? I think Will Riley is one of those players that is in contention to get more minutes, and with his performance that he had in his start, I think that's a player that obviously is already deserving some playing time. But next question comes from Noah Collects Soccer. If you became head coach, what would your starting 11 be? And after my screen pops back up, and in what formation? If I was not Ronnie Dyla and I was actually the head coach, the starting 11, man, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's really kind of difficult, I think, to see with, kind of the best players in the starting 11. I mean, no one's really performing really to the nth degree except for Emmanuel Atelat. So, but I think it would probably be at this point, I mean, with the players that we have, that's the difficulty. If you're talking about all healthy, it's a different thing. But as far as right now, man, that's tough because we don't have the players. So if I wanted to do a 3-man back line just to protect us a little bit more, that's going to be difficult. I think we probably have to stick with a 4-2-3-1 still. Guzan probably still, with the ball at his feet, is the most tidy player. So I'd start him in between the sticks. I'm not sure it gets much better. It is what it is. Lennon at right back, Pedro Amador at left back. Right now Cobb and Abram in those positions. I'd probably go with Fortune and Click in those midfield positions. I'd go with Saba on the right, Miggy at the 10. I mean, it's kind of tough. We don't really have many options. You kind of maybe have to roll the die. Mascara or Brennan in that position there. And then Emmanuel Atelat up top. But, Moranchuk, he has to play. He's a DP. It would be really weird to stonewall him at this point. So it's like he probably does have to start. But, so, Pete Magnus, and he doesn't ask the question, but he's saying, I'm tired of the rebuilding years. I mean, it seems like, we're just perpetually rebuilding, not retooling. It seems like we're always rebuilding lately. But it is what it is. I think that's the state of Atlanta United at the moment. But guys, thank you guys for the questions. That's the mailbag. Let's get into the match preview. 7:15 on Saturday against Orlando City at Inter and Co Stadium. They're in 7th place with a +3 goal difference. We're in 12th, unfortunately. Last match, they played to a 0-0 draw versus CF Montreal. The last time we played them, it was a 1-0 loss. Of course, in the playoffs, unfortunately, it was November 24th, 2024. But last 6 against them, we've won 3, drawn 1, they've won 2. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. so far, in the last 6 games. But the strengths of this team, the offseason seemed to be a pretty good kind of flurry of moves. Edward Atuesta, who I've personally clamored for, he has now moved to Orlando City. He's back in MLS. But they've also signed Nicolas Rodriguez, Marco Pasalic, of course, Atuesta, as aforementioned. And then also, from last season, they've also lost Bruce Seth, or in the offseason rather, and Facundo Torres, who moved to Palmeiras for a club record fee up to $14 million. Torres definitely was one of their talisman from last season, and now, as far as the pundits, they think that as far as where they're at, it's probably whereabouts. They're probably mid-table. Most of them having them as low as 8th and as high as 1st, but most of them having them around 4th or 5th. So a team that definitely, a lot of pundits are high on. So it will be very interesting to see how they go on. But Oscar Pereira, longtime coach now for them, he's just been very, very good for them. Has transformed them after coming over from FC Dallas. But had them 4th in the Eastern Conference last season, and they made the Eastern Conference final, of course, in the MLS Cup playoffs. But they're a team that loves coming in behind through balls. They are a team that creates some really good long shot opportunities. They're great from shooting from direct free kicks as well. Very good counter-attacking team, and very good at creating scoring chances, obviously through those flurry of different types of attacking options. But they are not a good team at protecting the lead, defending against long shots, and defending against attacks down the wings, which should play right into our hand a little bit, as we do love to play on the wings. But they have a consistent starting 11, and into the match facts, they have drawn their last 3 matches in MLS. They've also been drawing at both halftime and full-time in their last 3 matches, and they've failed to score in their last 3 matches. So naturally, they're going to score against Atlanta United, right? Hopefully not. But the match forecast, according to Who Scored, Atlanta City will score from a direct free kick, very likely. Atlanta United will make a comeback if they go in behind, also very likely. Atlanta United will score from a wing play situation, very likely. Orlando City will score from a fast break situation, that's likely. Atlanta United will score from a long shot, also likely. And Atlanta United will dominate possession, which is also likely. So, all things that unfortunately seem pretty plausible. So, let's get into the unavailable players. And unfortunately, like I mentioned, Manuel Atilat with yellow card accumulation is not available for this match. He's a yellow card machine, unfortunately. And so, I think it's going to be pretty obvious who might start up top. But Derek Williams likely will still be out. We'll see, probably more day-to-day. But, we'll operate like he probably isn't available. Gregerson, of course, with a quad, and Muyamba with his adductor are all unavailable. So let's get into the predicted starting 11. So Braguzan between the sticks, that's the obvious one. Lennon and Amador as the right and left fullbacks, respectively. Cobb and Abram, I think, obviously are the center back pair, as there's really nobody else. You have Efrain Morales, who will probably see some time in the on the bench as well, but probably not one of the guys that will start. But into midfield, Fortune and Click for me. in those positions. Moranchuk at the 10. I think Miguel Miron will be at left wing, Saba on the right. And they will be feeding Jamal Tiare up top. I mean, I'm not really sure there's really many other options at this point. It's pretty much those are the players that are the best 11 at the moment. So yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. So let's get into the score prediction. Is it going to be a lot of goals? Is it going to be a draw? I think yes. There's going to be 4 goals. It's going to be a draw as well. It's going to be 2-2. United score some goals on the road. As far as against Orlando City, and for this to be a road match, a draw is an absolute win, and we need it. We need some points. Can we win this match? I'm not sure. It's we have been winning against Orlando City on a more frequent basis. I think if we hit them on the counter and try to let them play with the ball a little bit more, I think we can probably do some more damage. But will that happen? Will Dyla allow the squad to do that? Not sure. I am not sure. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. But guys, that is pretty much the episode there and there, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, did the Xande Silva trade surprise you? Should we have made more moves? Let us know in those comments below. Looking forward to what you have to say. But guys, that is the episode. And remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I've been AJ. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.